Let's turn our attention now to the fashion industry, looking at the trends of 2023 and what can be expected as we go into 2024. A lot of us are beginning to get tired of our wardrobes, and replacement options seem to be narrowing. Well, Stephen Manzini joins us now to talk a little bit more about fashion. A very good morning to you, Stephen. Thank you so much for your time. Perhaps let's talk about the trends that stood out in the year 2023 and what we can expect as we go into 2024.
Okay, it's a bit of a complex question because it depends on where the trends fall in. So you've got your sustainability wear, you've got luxury wear, then you've got your retail ready to wear. So if you're looking at what we saw in spring, summer 2023, you'd be looking at probably more colors, which was your classic green, which has been around actually since 2021. Your fiery red, your crystal rose. So playing with different patterns, but that will be all on the designer or the design house that will be creating the outfit for you. So that's what happened in 2023, and then in spring. So then in winter, what we saw was the continuation of different shades of gray, different shades of black, and I mean these are global trends that we've been receiving and been working on, and the designers trying to appease the people when it comes to what they buy with what they're seeing in the market.
What would you say, Stephen, are some of the fashion items which may have defined 2023?
Spring, summer, or winter, because
just rounding up the year, whether it was chunky heels and bell bottoms making a comeback, what stood out for you?
What stood out for me was the cargo pants. I think we saw those, and the way that the design houses are playing with the tops, the crop tops, and I mean it depends. Like I said, when you say which are the trends, you have to look at the season at the same time, because to wear something out of season would it wouldn't exactly do justice to us defining that trend. But then I think from a male perspective, we just saw a lot of males going into different colors, playing around different colors, and then the females. I mean, unless you're talking about, like I said, if you're talking about luxury wear, then I would be able to get into that. If you're talking about sustainability, then we're talking about the incorporation of cultural wear, the incorporation of cultural wear, because that's what then defines the sustainability aspect of it. Then if you're talking about ready to wear, I mean, nothing much is going to change in terms of the cut and make of the outfit. It's still going to be probably most likely the same things that you see in the stores, but they'll play with the patterns. But then the cut and make, you still buy the same vest, you still buy the same t-shirts, unless you're buying from a boutique, which is a different ballgame.
Are we seeing major differences as we move from continent to continent, or are there some similarities? I mean, as you mentioned, the different seasons, what certainly stood out for me was a comeback of denim and trousers, whether it's no longer just sticking to skinny leg and making it the be-all, but moving across the different cuts and finishes.
Yes, I mean, okay, if you're talking about from continent to continent, I mean, we all have our different cultures in those continents. So you have the cultural perspective and the proprietary perspective, which is obviously on the retail side when you mention denim and the way the denim is cut. So I'm not going to mention stores here because it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be doing justice in doing that. But then majority of the retail stores did change from the skinny jeans. I don't know. I mean, it depends on your weight and size. I'm not really a big fan of skinny jeans, never was. But then a bit of space in the jeans actually helped some of us who weren't fans of the skinny jeans.
Yeah. And And the winter range of 2023, lots of texture, layering and color. I mean, you sort of touched on it, but as we go into the new year, what will perhaps dominate?
I think we're going to see a domination of shade blue, or a blue shade. It's sort of a light blue pattern. That's what we're going to see going into and this is a perfect time actually during the holidays to try those colors, because you know we're in between and going into new seasons and times. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of the different shades of blue. Obviously, gray will still stay, with different shades of gray and the black. The light, sort of a light black color that we're going to see going into 2024. However, that will still be defined as we go into
the Fashion Summit that also took place this year, a first of its kind. You attended it, I understand.
Yes, that is correct. I did attend it, which is very. It's very interesting that we now have a BRICS fashion summit from the political side of things, and they're now moving into fashion. I mean, the whole goal and agenda for the BRICS summit is redrawing the fashion map. Because we're used to getting instructions from, not instructions as per se, but then domination of the London, Paris, New York. So these are emerging markets that have decided to say, you know what, we want to also redraw because we don't identify all the time with your trends and your colors. So I think the cultural exchange that happened there and the increased African participation into, because usually we're always on the receiving end. So now we're coming into a position where we can say, no, we've got our own cultures in here and our own colors. Can they be incorporated into the global market, which is quite exciting.
Absolutely. Very quickly, we also know that buzzwords like sustainability, thrifting have continued for quite some time now, but I found that sustainability was pushed to the forefront this year. What are your thoughts?
It's being pushed front because it's very important that we have a sustainable aspect from an African perspective, because I mean we've got our own colors, we've got our own trends, we've got our own history, rich history that comes into play. Whereby I'm going to give examples of different color, the different cultural perspective from the African perspective. You've got your Mali material, you've got your shweshwe in South Africa, and then in Ghana you've got your own material there. So those things have been stolen over the years by, not stolen, but sort of just taken by most big the decision makers in the fashion industry, which is your London, Paris, New York. You just take a piece of it and they globalize it without a say from Africa. So that sustainability aspect, in terms of us moving into that, into the retail space and moving that into the global space where you're able to take control of that. It's very exciting times when we're moving more in towards sustainability. So I'm very much excited to see where the global industry is headed, and with an aspect of sustainability.
Yeah, thank you so much. Soweto Fashion Week founder Stephen Manzini there, speaking to us about some expectations and trends as we go into the new year when it comes to the fashion side of things.